All right, let's go and get this show on the road. I want to be conscientious of everybody's time. So again, thank you for joining today's webinar. What we'll be covering today is where LiDAR is currently being used in the world. My name is Justin DeVore. I'm a senior reality capture technician here at ATG. And basically what we'll be going through is just some workflow items, some things, and what we can do there. So let's go and kick this off and get going. All right, so again, a little bit about me. As I mentioned, my name is Justin DeVore. I've been here with ATG. Actually, I need to update the slide because now I'm just celebrating my 7th year here. My background is in civil engineering, and I did some surveying and then also a drone pilot as well. And speaking of being outdated, I have a new look now as well. I kind of gave up on growing hair and just decided to grow out the beard. So a couple things here. So where is LiDAR being used in the world? So I wrote down a small list right here: vertical construction, public safety, criminal accident investigations, inspections, concrete flatness, volume calculations, creating object meshes. But if you'd all do me a favor and kind of throughout, go ahead and think about some items or some things that you've seen LiDAR and used, and we'll kind of cycle throughout them throughout the webinar and touch base on the end. So go ahead and feel free to type them in the chat. And while you're thinking about it, we'll go and move on to the next slide. So yeah, like I mentioned, while you're thinking about some LiDAR use cases, I want to do a couple of housekeeping items here of some cool things we have going on here at ATG. We're always publishing new content to LinkedIn, as well as hosting these videos. So if you want to come back and review this video again, it'll be posted on our YouTube page, probably by this evening or if not tomorrow. So yeah, feel free to check out always new content, white papers, blogs, everything like that. And not just in the reality capture space as well. We have a full AEC team here as well. So whether you come from the architecture side or engineer side or construction, you know, we have tons of content out there. And like I mentioned, our YouTube page. So yeah, we got a bunch of playlists out there dedicated to each of the different things. So I recommend checking out our reality capture playlist. Go and check that out. We have a bunch of things from drone workflows to LiDAR workflows to compare and contrast different point cloud tools and just different things we've seen out there. So go and check that out. Okay. And then also wanted to kind of give a plug shout out to our hardware partner, Bimbox. These machines are built for our industry. Basically, they are catered to work with our point clouds. They're catered to work with Revit models that utilize these heavy point clouds as well. And I've had my Bimbox for the past probably going on 2 years now, and honestly, it's fantastic. I used to kind of get used to Civil 3D or Recap or any of my Autodesk software crashing throughout the day. You know, that's just something I got used to on other machines. But here with the Bimbox I haven't had to do that. I'll even kind of catch myself would be like, oh yeah, I need to restart my machine. I've had it on for a couple days. So, and then kind of what we'll be going through. So I have a whole bunch of examples of basically some of those elements of where LiDAR is going to be used throughout the world. And a lot of these examples is going to be based off of our software partner and hardware partner with Leica Geosystems. Here at ATG, we not only resell the software, but also the hardware as well. So if you're looking to get an RTC or BLK 360, or even check out the new BLK to go and give us a call, and you know, we can set up a live demo with you, kind of discuss some of the options through there. Same thing on the software side as well. There's a lot of point cloud tools out there, and we're going to be highlighting a few of them today, like 3DR, for example. That's an extension of the Cyclone family. They're with Leica Geosystems. It's a full-scale point cloud management tool, and it does a lot of automated point cloud analysis, and it also helps with your modeling as well. There's also some cool benefits or key benefits within 3DR that I thought were kind of neat. The meshing tools in there have been pretty neat to work with. I'm not sure if any of you had utilized some of the meshing tools within Recap that were removed for a while, but 3DR is worth checking out if you're looking to get into meshing. There's also inspection and measurement for design and context, automatic feature extraction, and also there's a powerful scripting engine within 3DR as well. So if you're looking to do any kind of automations or scripting of that nature, really check that out. And then also there's contour extraction and many more things. 3DR is a really useful point cloud tool. There's also, oh, I see here, yeah, Sandeep, yeah, so you should be getting a copy or recording of this meeting after it has been basically edited and posted up to there. So if you don't, feel free to email me and I'll make sure you get a handle of it. And yeah, it looks like YATG answered that question as well. So, okay. Yeah, let's move on to Point Fuse. Point Fuse powered by Jetstream. It creates intelligent mesh models of any environment. Now, I mentioned that 3DR does meshing as well. So 3DR is basically a combination of all three of these, Point Fuse, Verity, and Rhythm. Those do very specific tasks very well, and 3DR is kind of the culmination of that. Also, Point Fuse allows you to, it automatically converts point cloud data into as-built models as well. And then we have Verity, does automated construction verification. Basically, it compares the laser scans of an as-built condition against any of your 3D Navisworks models. And then we have Rhythm. It does deviation analysis for steel beams and concrete slabs. And you can view heat maps right on top of your architectural drawings, as well as it has a full in-field workflow as well. So you can upload your drawings out in the field, and with the combination of RTC, you can do live updates there. Say you're doing a concrete pour, for example, need to check out the flatness before that fully cures, right? So Rhythm would be one of the tools that could go into that. Okay, so, and if there's any questions throughout, go and keep throwing those in the chat. And then also, if you've seen other locations that have been using LiDAR that we're not covering today, I'd like to hear about those as well. Okay, so let's go and touch base a little bit on vertical construction. So this is really where I've seen the industry kick off in the past 2 to 5 years. Let's shut that off. There we go. And it's been really great because there's a lot of things that, you know, when it comes to actually building it out in the field, a lot of times they don't get built exactly to plan. That's not necessarily the case, being that the material wasn't the right material. It just kind of ends up being that way. So being able to scan as you go and be able to update your model along the way is really crucial and really beneficial on those kinds of things. So vertical construction. Also public safety. There's a lot of different use cases of being able to track you know, people movement. And I've even seen recently with, where's all this popping up right now? with COVID going on, also they've been able to monitor like, hey, you know, this group right here is not doing the appropriate social distancing. They're not practicing the 6 feet apart. So it can kind of identify that, as well as some of the self-driving cars out there to be able to scan and look out for people and bikes and a lot of things that we can't see. You know, we don't have eyes in the back of our head. So it really helps in safety and of things you cannot see. Okay. Criminal and accident investigation. Um, we I remember a couple of years ago watching a video about sheriff's department and talking about how they were using the like a BLK 360 to scan accident scenes, and didn't know this before watching the video, but some major accidents, they back in the day, they used to have to call up registered surveyors to come out, drive to an accident site, be able to capture everything down before they could remove that accident scene. So all those traffic jams take a long time while you're waiting for a surveyor to get on site. Whereas now, those first responders can get out, set up the scanner, go around the site, and be able to clear the accident as quickly as possible, get traffic moving again. So it's pretty neat to see some of that. And then I've also seen some forensics ones as well, recreated scenes used within court cases and things like that. So pretty interesting. And then also inspections. So inspections, very important, very necessary, but also a very dangerous line of work. Got a couple examples here of bridges and some electrical substations. You know, so some of these could be very dangerous for an individual, as well as very time consuming, you know, to get all suited up and safely, or in case of a bridge, be able to harness and swing underneath to be able to look and take pictures and measurements. Whereas if we use LiDAR to be able to go at a safe distance away, we can go capture everything within line of sight and then take that back to the office where it's nice and safe and secure, and be able to do our analysis there. And earlier I mentioned concrete flatness. And here's a couple examples. On the top right, we see that one's kind of showcase the levelness of the site. So you can, the numbers are a little small over there, but you can kind of see how level this particular site is. And then right below that is the flatness of the site. Again, kind of hard to see the numbers there, but the small green area is tolerance set for plus or minus 1,000th of a foot, or 0.01 feet. Okay. So there's a lot we can kind of get out of that really quickly by just doing a handful of LiDAR scans within a building. It's also useful for volume calculations, to be able to open pit mining, be able to get slopes and contours, be able to, you know, identify possible landslide areas before they would happen. Also for our civil engineering friends, of being able to get volume calculations on sites of maybe stockpiles. As dirt and earth is moving around a construction site, it'd be useful for them to find out how much dirt is left there to be able to make adjustments, whether that's setting a few home pads a little higher, or if they need to ship it off to another end of the site to be used elsewhere. Also can be used to help measure weight and distribution. You can kind of see this barge loaded with sand, probably heading off to a beach in California somewhere, to be offloaded there, but they can just go scan that, measure that out, and then basically kind of charge by pound in a way without needing a scale out there. Okay. And then also kind of mentioned earlier with 3DR, some of the creating object meshes. Some of the LiDAR scanners can get really high detail and capture a lot of data. So being able to recreate a lot of these objects without having to, look up spec sheets or model in place, having some automated tools to be able to recreate that for you saves a lot of time as well. Okay, and then there's a handful more cool things I've seen out there where LiDAR is in use. We had the Mars rover landing recently. That was pretty cool to watch. I watched the video on that, how they showed the live update or the updates from the camera position, and you could kind of see the live how close it was to the ground and everything like that. So really cool to see that in action. Also, the latest iPhone has LiDAR built into it as well, to be able to do kind of some quick room measurements and things like that. So if you're looking to lay out, furniture space and things like that, that's been pretty cool to see. Also, some of the Roombas or some of the robot vacuums out there have LiDAR and will basically map your house for you. So it stays more efficient instead of just kind of spinning around for you. So a lot of neat applications out there. I'm looking in the chat. Does anybody have any other use cases that we haven't covered yet that you've seen where LiDAR is being used? I don't see anything yet, but it's really the technology is pretty amazing of just how far it's come and just all the different softwares out there that are able to analyze the data so quickly. Yeah, so Kevin, have you tried that out on your iPhone yet? Um, but yeah, it's pretty slick what it's able to do, and really just the accuracy of it, you know, to be able to get those, uh, be able to get this data across. Right. Yeah, that's kind of what I was reading on the iPhones. It definitely serves a purpose, especially if you're just kind of looking for some kind of quick measurements and things like that. But you know, when discussing reality capture or LiDAR or scanning in general, I always kind of use the analogy of bring in the right tool for the job. So if we're a handyman, we're bringing our tool bag, and now a hammer is going to do a lot for us on the job site. It can hammer in a few nails and maybe pull a few out, can do a little bit of demo work for us, but every once in a while we'll need a screwdriver, pull that out of the bag. So the LiDAR technology and some of the different scanners out there, I kind of relate to that. Every once in a while there's mechanical room that needs really high detailed, high definition scans, because we're talking millimeters of spacing between some piping and things like that to be able to plan out different routes and things like that. So again, combining different scan data, I could see iPhone being great for that initial walkthrough, and then we go in with a bigger scanner to be able to get the detail we're looking to get, as well as verification on everything like that. So Yeah, so I'll give it a minute for anybody else to kind of showcase some of that out there. But yeah, this was going to be a kind of a quick webinar today. You know, let everybody get back to their lunch early, but just kind of want to showcase where we've kind of seen the technology grow, and just the speed of these scanners has really been a benefit to a lot of industries of adopting and utilizing it within their industries. But I'll go and stick around for a few questions if there's any. But you know, if you don't have any questions, I'll go and let you loose, and you know, enjoy the rest of your day. And thank you for attending. Okay, got a question here from Brian. So what is happening with LiDAR for use on transportation projects with the recent rise in use of drone imagery? Yeah, good question. So yeah, a lot of the transportation projects that we've seen out there will be for verification, as well as it can go you know, help with the profiling of the sections, as well as when they go to do the concrete pours. I've seen a lot while the concrete is curing, them to be able to fly the drone at night, or do some scans throughout to make sure that they have everything built, because the last thing you want in any kind of transportation or anything like that is ponding within your parking lot or on your streets or anything like that, because that's how you get potholes. That's how you get a lot of erosion really quickly. So yes, some LiDAR has been able to be attached to drones, and combination of photogrammetry with LiDAR. Again, kind of a big fan of merging technologies. Photogrammetry, we can get a lot really quickly, and then we can basically go into some of those key elements, maybe a retention basin or something like that. Or some vertical structures, say like around a building, to be able to capture LiDAR, as well as flying over a roof with photogrammetry. You're welcome. Any other questions? Anybody else seen the technology used out there other than what we've kind of identified today? Okay. All right, well, we'll go and kind of wrap it up here. Thanks again for attending, and hope everybody has a great day.